Welcome to our few moments together on the Parsha. This Shabbos we have the privilege of reading Parshas Vayetze. And Parshas Vayetze tells us that Yaakov had to leave his home because of two different commands. On the one hand, his father told him to go and find a wife for himself from the house of Lavan, and so he had to go to Padan Aram. And on the other hand, his mother told him to leave the house and run away because Esav was threatening to kill him. Yaakov, on both counts, must have been extremely apprehensive. Here is the Yaakov Ishtam, the complete person who is leaving his home and he's going alone on a journey, running away on the one hand, looking to find his family and perhaps a wife on the other, and there's much apprehension on Yaakov's part. He comes to the place where he rests, and according to Chazal, that was the place of the Mikdash, and he has a dream, and he sees Malachei Elokim Olim V'Yordim Bo. There are angels who are accompanying him, going up and coming down, and Hashem himself appears to him and tells him that Hinei Anochi Imach, I am going to be with you, and I'm going to bring you back to your father's house. I'm going to watch over you. I'm going to give you all the necessities of life, and I'm also going to make your seed like the dust of the earth. They shall spread out to all the four corners. Ufaratzta yoma v'kedma v'tzafona v'negba. And I'm going to bring you back to this land, and I'm going to give your children this particular land. When Yaakov hears this, and he recognizes what an awesomely holy place he was in, he says, Ochein yesh Hashem b'makom hazeh. It's true, Hashem is in this place. I didn't know, and therefore I slept, but I appreciate, I'm sure, Yaakov said, the wonderful confidence that Hashem gave me that he's going to return me here. And so, at the very beginning of the next parak, the first pasuk says, Vayisa Yaakov raglov, and Yaakov lifted his feet, and he went to the land of the people of the east, to Lavan. Now, the simple interpretation of Vayisa Yaakov raglov, that Yaakov lifted up his feet and went on his journey, is because he was given this tremendous vote of confidence by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But the Oznayim LaTorah quotes an interesting medrash. And the medrash says that David says every single day, Chishavti derachai, I thought about my path, v'ashiva ragli el edosecha, and my feet returned me to your testimony, to your Torah. As the Chazal say in the medrash, no matter what David thought, maybe I'll go here, maybe I'll go there, the end result was that his feet carried him to the base HaMedrash. Now, if that was the case by David HaMelech, it certainly must have been the case by Yaakov, and his feet would carry him towards Hashem, towards the base HaMedrash, not away from the place of the Mikdash. And yet, here it says, Vayisa Yaakov raglov, and Yaakov lifted his feet, Vayelech arza b'nei kedem, and he went to the land of the people of the east. So the Oznayim LaTorah says, the words Vayisa Yaakov es raglov are telling us that Yaakov had to force his feet to go away from this holy place, because his parents had given him a command to go and find a wife and to go to Padan Aram. Whether it was from Yitzchak's side in order to find a wife, or from Rivka's side in order to escape the wrath of Esav, nevertheless, he had to force himself. Vayisa Yaakov raglov. He had to pick up his feet to leave the rarefied confines of the Makom HaMikdash. You know, sometimes when davening is over, and it's not really yet over until after Adon Olam, it almost seems like people don't want to remain until the end, or maybe are urging themselves because of the Shabbos Seudah or whatever. And sometimes it even appears that some people don't find their way to the Beis HaMedrash to learn. But this particular pasuk is telling us that we can emulate Yaakov and get the confidence that comes with doing what Yaakov did. Find our way to the Beis HaMedrash, to the Beis HaKnesses. Find our way to minyan, to davening, to learning, to shiurim, and be anxious and eager to participate and not necessarily pick our feet up to walk away, because it takes a tremendous effort to pick one's feet up and walk away. Only, of course, if we're commanded by our parents for some reason, or there's some overly pressing issue that must be adhered to at the moment. But otherwise, we should try to emulate Yaakov and to not leave, but rather to come and participate in the davening of the Beis HaKnesses and in the learning of the Beis HaMedrash. There's always something to be learned, and there's always something to be gained. And how beautiful it is if we can emulate Yaakov and force ourselves. Maybe, like David said, we thought we're going one place, but my feet carried me to the other place. And Yaakov certainly would have stayed there had it not been for the command that he had. What a beautiful idea that the Oznayim LaTorah gives us about Yaakov's picking up his feet. He had to force himself to leave that holy place. We have the opportunity today to keep ourselves within the beautiful, holy confines of the shul and the Beis Medrash. And if we do that, we're certainly emulating our forefathers, David HaMelech and Yaakov Avinu, in trying the best we can to make our second home the place where we learn and where we daven. Have a wonderful Shabbos.